Oh, right, here we are then. We're on a little test ride for Nibbler. Front end feels better already. Well, it would do, Jim. It's got fork seals in it. Yes, front end feels a lot better. That's good. I'm giving him a run down to the next village basically because yes, I can run it up in the shed, but there's no substitute for getting it down the road. What I want to make sure is that it's going to get up to operating temperature and not overheat. And I know the water pump is working, but when I've just ran it in the shed, I couldn't see any water. Usually you'll see the water trying to circulate past the thermostat, because obviously the thermostat doesn't completely shut off water flow, it just restricts it and then opens up. And I couldn't see anything coming through, but I have still got a bit of air in the system. Like a couple of the hoses are not firmage. Oh, we're going. So I'm hoping giving it a run just down to the village, getting it up to temp will basically start to bleed the system. You think you're coming past me in your Nissan Qashqai, son? You're not. Also, oil leak news. Yes, there was a little bit of oil on the floor this morning, but not from the water pump. I think it's the O-ring on the alternator. Obviously it was dry the other day. Now it's confession time basically. I have been putting, as I stated in the last video, 4 litres in Nibbler, because like I say, every Japanese bike I've had has had the oil capacity marked on the crankcases as well as cylinder capacity. By the oil filler there is usually the oil capacity. Now we're already in top gear, that's alright. We're just bimbling along, getting her up to temp. She's coming up now, look. So how many of these problems with the oil leaks and stuff have actually been of my cause? I.e. I have admittedly schoolboy error, unknowingly way overfilled it with oil. So obviously there's going to be quantities of oil getting into places where normally there wouldn't be. A lot of the O-rings on that engine and gaskets are basically designed to stop oil misting coming through. When you start to add crankcase pressure and the weight of a quantity of oil behind it, they are going to give up. It's as simple as that. So I'm wondering how many of these leaks are of my causing basically, and I think it is me. I don't think it's the bike that's at issue, fingers crossed. I do, more than likely it's my fault because I have obviously way overfilled the oil. So this now has the correct quantity of oilage in it, which I think from the Haynes, you can correct me on this because I said it in the last video, it's either something like 3.2 to 3.5, I think it's 3.5 litres with a filter, and I think it's 3.2 without. That's a nice bright light. Oh, that's a nice bottom as well. I do like a nice bottom. My good lady has a perfect bottom. So yes, I am expecting for the next few times I use Nibbler for him to crop up with the odd leak, mainly as an overshot of what I've done. I mean, all I can do is clean up the mess and inspect and stuff like that. Well, the O-ring on the back of the alternator, joggers with big boobies, that's one there for Boaty's World. Basically all I'm doing is just caretaking. The O-ring on the back of the alternator is new, or let's face it, it's not that old, because I did have quite a leak from there, and it turned out upon inspection there wasn't even an O-ring on the back of the alternator. So obviously in its life somebody's either had to have a new alternator or rectifier or something like that, and they have omitted the O-ring off the back of the alternator. Obviously, if it's there from factory, it's there for a reason. You know, people don't just stick these things in because they've got a spare O-ring on the shelf. So yes, I'm just wondering if it's just going to leak for a bit. Just getting rid of the excess oil, basically. The airbox, funnily enough, is strangely, I wouldn't say oil free because they never are, because that's where it's designed to blow the oil back through if there's an overpressure, but there's no more than normal. So I'm just wondering, when it blew the oil pipe and all that lot, whether that was a result of copious overfilling, and I'm guessing yes, it's entirely on me, it's not the bike. So I'm in the next village now. She is at operating temperature. So what we will do is I'm going to have a little bumble through the lanes. I'm going to start turning back now. That's not Nibbler. Right, let's get going. 21 quid, you thirsty bird. We've got a full tank of petroleum distillate. Oh, Royal Enfield, and he didn't nod. I'm obviously scum. Well, I know I'm scum. I'm quite proud of it. Here we go then. Visor down. Well, there we go, visor down. The GoPro always gets in the way. Well, so far so good. I do like a big maxi scoot. I did notice in the news earlier this week, the sort of motorcycling type news, that Suzuki are going to have a hydrogen Bergman on their books next year, which is very exciting, because hopefully now we'll get rid of all this insistence on electric, which is just utter shit and doesn't work. I know this because I am intimately involved with it and I hate it. Although some of the electric cars are very, very nice to drive, and they're absolutely lovely if you don't like driving. If that doesn't make sense, it's just that they're dead easy. Get in, turn them on, go. You know, you're never going to stall them or anything like that. But no, hydrogen, any synthetic fuels are where it's going to be at. I'm going to go a bit further because he's behaving. Nice. And we're in no rush. It's Sunday. It has Gev a dry day. We'll see how true that is later. I don't know how you guys experienced the all the rain we had the other day. We had a lot of localised flooding around here, usual places, but also, yeah, the poor buggers up in Scotland and east coast of Scotland, and the wasn't there a chap swept away by floodwater in Shropshire, I do believe. Yeah, it's been a bad do. The tracks were really bad Friday. We get a lot of standing water at work anyway, but yes, they were quite bad, but I was in a vehicle that could cope with it, so it wasn't too bad. Quick engine check. Yes, it's still there. And that side. You must look alright, dick, when we do this at traffic lights. Come on then. The trouble is with round here on a Sunday, we have a large car boot. I'm not even sure whether it's on. I'm sure it is. And we have a lot of people from out of the area, let's say, that come, and they are certain driving types, like they never drive out of town, so they're completely flummoxed by anything doing over 30 miles an hour. I do believe I was humming a bit of The Beautiful South then. Only because I tend to listen to Greatest Hits Radio. Free plug. Now, I used to listen to Radio 2 all the time from when I first started commercial driving, because he had the best traffic reports and I was told to listen to it. And in the end I got to really like it because I did actually know everything on it. You know, I knew all the songs and I could sing along, and it wasn't anybody like warbling bitches or Radio 1 where somebody's saying nigger 300 times and apparently it's a hit single. It's funny that, isn't it? So yeah, so now all the best DJs on Radio 2 have moved over to Greatest Hits Radio. I listen to that now, and it's very good it is too, apart from Jesus, some of the adverts, I know they have to have adverts, but Christ, some of them, by the time you've heard them for the fifth time that hour, they get a bit much. We'll see. Yes, so let us know in the comments how you fared on the old with the weather, because it was atrocious here, it really was. But we got away lightly compared to a lot of the country. Oh, that front end feels so much better. Obviously before there was an imbalance of oil in the forks and what have you, and the front end just felt like it wanted to dive in all the while, and you could ride around it, you get used to it because you knew it was going to do it, and then the next minute the forks would feel too tall, if you know what I mean. Excusez-moi. C'est mon gosse. So it'd feel like the front end was on stilts the next time. It was very odd, but you got around it. But now it feels very good, and I'm hoping the new bushes will help the seals last. Oh, I'm dying to do a seal joke. Just get it out of your system, Jim. Just do it. All right. Seals. There we go. It's out of my system. We should be good. You stay there. You stay there. Now, this is the village where my friend Lamborghini Mike lives. Yes. Oh, look at the temperature gauge. Nice and stable. That's good. We have only done about 6 miles tops, and depending who you listen to, you know, armchair experts and people like that, oh no, you've got to do 30 miles before an engine is fully warmed up. Well, that might have been true in the 1940s, but not anymore. The core of an engine is warm in seconds, literally seconds. So yes, we shall see that. I'm heading strangely towards the M69 now. Do I give her a little burn on the motorway? Is Nibbler gender fluid? Because when I think about him, it's a him, and I've just called him a her. Is she, he, it's gender fluid, I'm wondering. Yes. Running lovely. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, but up here I'm approaching junction, is it 1 or 2? Can never remember. Horses! And we slow right down for horses. And I got a very nice thank you. I mean, come on, take care around horses, doesn't need repeating. Cyclists, fuck them. No, I'm joking. But horses, how many times have you ridden past a dog on the pavement and it's gone absolutely batshit at your bike, especially if you're running a noisy exhaust? You know, horses, that animal is big enough to kill you, and it's big enough to kill the person riding it, so we'll take a bit of care around hossage. I think I might even risk a bit of motorway. Jim, you're getting out of your depth here, son. Here we go, we're all clear. Right hand lane. I'm still being a little bit cautious, cornering, just in case I'm getting a bit of a weep out the engine and it's going on the tyre. I should have inspected it, but it feels okay. I'm actually going all the way around here. Whee! Can you hear my knee sliders grinding? Nope, because I don't do that kind of shit. There is absolutely no need for it on the road. You can get your pegs down without sticking your knee out, but I'm also careful because my tyres are old. And so am I do not heal well these days. Even like the last cold I had knocked me out. I've had it a month, literally a month. I had the best part of a week off work because you know when you're not good, and I don't go into work when I'm ill because I'm not spreading it about, because I could put 5-6 people out of work, so I don't do it. But no, some other cunt came into work full of cold and feel fucking shit and all this lot, and it's just like, oh, why aren't you at home then, you dickhead? And he ended up, he's passed it to me, I've passed it to other people. Oh, of course we've got the same horses. I didn't think that one through really, did I? But it's not a problem. It really isn't. Oh, and they're turning. And she's got black gloves on, and it looks like she's holding a pistol. Oh, Dick Turpin. Or in her case, it would be Dick S. Turpin. Oh, actually, what would the female equivalent of Dick be? And don't say Fanny. I do like a horse. When I get my small holding in Scotland, I think I'm going to have a pair of Highland cows, probably called something totally non-Scots generic, like Hamish. And I've always loved the big horses, the Clydesdales and the Shires. I've always loved those because I like horses anyway, because they're just like dogs, they've got a character. I'm not a cat person. I don't dislike cats at all. My friend Mark has cats, and they're the most catty cats you'll ever cat. In fact, I think they're dogs. But yeah, really, really lovely. I've never seen a claw, never seen a tooth. My sister had a cat called Rory, who passed away recently, and he was a git, basically. He was like, "Oh, pet me," and typical cat. Out came the claws, and wallop, that was your forearm gone. So yes, never been too much of a cat fan, never will be too much of a cat fan, but I don't dislike them. And I think, you know, if I had my small holding, I would have to have a cat as a ratter. But knowing my luck, it wouldn't be a ratter. It would form a rat union and take up arms for, you know, unsatisfactory living conditions and shit like that. That's the kind of luck I have. Oh yeah, he's checking out Pornhub on his phone. Well, you can say we've done some varied riding, we've done some slow speed, we've done some extra urban and all that lot, and he's been all right. I do love how cars try and burn away, thinking that they're fast and oh, you'll never catch them, and I just let them get on with it. I don't play silly fuckers games. It's like when you always get some tit in a Tesla, or even like a Kia Electric. They all do it, they all burn away from traffic lights and all that, like, look how fast I am, and that is all electric is good for, basically. Here we go then. See, mate, any idiot can go fast in a straight line, but you're now holding me up. See? In your little C1, mate, you have not got a hope. So I just sit behind him and I rest my hand on my thigh like, you're holding me up now and I'm bored. And then they go faster and faster. We're now coming up to a junction here. You need to slow down, mate. I bet he goes through tyres and brakes. Yes, oh, it does make me laugh. It makes me laugh every time someone in a car thinks they're faster than a bike. When you seriously are not. I think my engine was probably bigger than his C1, but we all experience it, don't we? We do. It's like what used to make me laugh on my 125. Is that we have a lot of truck traffic around here. He was an ignorant cunt. He didn't nod because obviously I'm scum. Get it out of your system, Jim. But we used to have a lot of we have tipper drivers. Of course, a lot of tipper drivers are bikerists or motorcyclists. They call themselves bikers, but of course we all know that's not true. But you know, we won't get into that little chestnut. So yeah, they you'd be behind one on B125 going to work or coming back from lunch or something like that, and they would pull over for you to get past, which is an extremely decent thing to do, not knowing that you couldn't get your 125 past the bow wave of the truck. It used to take you about 3 hours. Ooh, Jaguar I-Pace, they catch fire. Yeah, that was an enjoyable ride. Like I say, I do have this love hate with Nibbler when he's running and he's handling alright. I do like him, I like him a lot. Oh, but it's just all the problems. Right, let's just pull over here. It's a great place to put a lay-by, because it's also a bus stop, because we used to get a bus to Coventry here. Right, here we go then. Let's turn him off for a second, and let's just have a little inspection. Let's have a quick look. Hope nobody's had a shit here. Like I say, I am expecting the odd drippage and what have you, but the crucial thing is he isn't overheating, so that means I did engage the water pump, because he would have overheated a long time before. And we're all dry that side. Guys, I'm calling that a win. So consider this a Nibbler update. Ah, look at that. Aren't we so lucky to live in the countryside? Absolutely superb. And I wonder what all these cars passing me are thinking. Are they thinking that I'm having a secret wee-wee when I'm just stood here? Well, let's check. No. Actually, this is one of the very few lay-bys I've ever stopped in the UK that doesn't smell of stale piss. So well done, highways. Oh, look, there's a single drop of oil on the floor, and I'm sure that's just the excess from the alternator area. I am not worried about it. Put it this way, if that's all it's going to do, I can live with that. So guys, thanks very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the little ride out. I can put the covers back on and all that shite now. So that's it. GoPro, stop recording.